What if everything you thought about Africa's contribution to the world was wrong? What if the world's greatest inventions, from medicine to metallurgy, didn't begin in the West? But in Africa, this is not just a history lesson. It's a story of silence, erasure, and truth. Because Africa didn't just survive. Africa created. Before Europe's so-called Enlightenment, African civilizations had already laid the foundations of science, art, and engineering. The Dogon people mapped the Sirius star system without telescopes. Ancient Egypt pioneered surgical instruments, birth control, and early mathematics. In West Africa, the Nok culture created lifelike terracotta sculptures by 500 BC. The Great Zimbabwe had complex architecture, built without mortar, so precise that the stones still stand today. The concept of zero, the calendar, algebraic principles. The Timbuktu manuscripts contain knowledge of astronomy, medicine, and law centuries ahead of their time. African metallurgists in Tanzania created furnaces that reached 1,800 degrees Celsius, centuries before industrial Europe. The idea of vaccinations? The earliest known practice was by enslaved Africans in America. But these weren't just innovations. They were erased stories. Why? Because the world couldn't accept that Africa, colonized, enslaved, and silenced, was once a hub of brilliance. Much of Africa's knowledge was stolen and rebranded. Arab and European traders didn't just take gold and people, they took manuscripts, medicines, minerals. Many African herbs became the base of today's pharmaceuticals. African weaving patterns were replicated into haute couture without credit. Even African drum rhythms birthed jazz, blues, and rock and roll. Africa didn't just contribute to the world. The world is shaped by Africa. Even during colonialism, African minds resisted through creativity. In Congo, artisans carved protest into ivory. In Nigeria, coded cloth patterns told stories of resistance. African ingenuity built infrastructure with little or no help, water systems, farming tools, social institutions. All under surveillance, all while being told they were backward. They innovated while in chains. Today, a new generation is reclaiming Africa's past and future. Afrofuturism blends ancient African symbols with futuristic art. Startups in Kenya and Rwanda lead in fintech and sustainable tech. Ghanaian designers reinvent traditional wear for the global stage. Nigerian filmmakers dominate African cinema. And African architecture, long ignored, is now influencing global design. Africa isn't catching up. The world is catching on. The story of African innovation isn't over. It's just beginning. We don't need to rewrite history. We need to remember it right. If this story moved you, if it taught you something the world tried to erase, don't let it be forgotten again. Like, share, comment, and subscribe for more stories that honor truth over silence. Because Africa's story is a world story.